found a niche as a news publication. So people turn to us for news, as a reliable source of news.
Veena Rao, the editor of NRI Pulse. Welcome to our studios. Thank you for being with us to talk to our audience. And interviews like this are definitely going to help the audience and our viewers, because not many people know what goes behind this newspaper, printing newspaper or a periodical. Most people, okay, they read it, look at it, they say, okay, it's really nice, but they don't know what goes on. So I come from journalism background too, by the way, you know that. So let's get started with a simple question of what inspired you to start this periodical and online newspaper.
Thank you for having me on the show, first of all. I have a background in print journalism, as you mentioned. I studied journalism in college, and subsequently I started working for Indian Express Daily newspaper back in India. So when we moved to Atlanta about 16 years ago, I was fortunate to continue my career in journalism through a newspaper called Atlanta Samachar, which was a weekly newspaper. Unfortunately, Atlanta Samachar closed down in a couple of years and left a void, because around that time the market was filled with feature publications like Hubbard and Little India, but there was no publication that made news its focus. So that's when a fellow journalist suggested that I should launch a publication of my own, and it seemed like a very glamorous idea then. So I decided to take the plunge. That's how NRI Pulse was born in the summer of 2006.
So Veena, here in Atlanta area, Metro Atlanta area, we have, I think, a couple of periodicals. One is the Cover monthly, then we also have the India Tribune. Where do you stand and how do you sustain the competition?
Yeah, good question, Viju. I think we all have our niche segments in the market.
Sure.
Cover is the leader in the features segment. And I think, like you said, India Tribune is good, but it's Chicago based. So I think we found a niche as a news publication. So people turn to us for news, as a reliable source of news.
So
not just from
NRI Pulse News and
Cover,
mostly features, articles, features, interviews, kind of thing. That's a good thing. Now, moving to the economics of a newspaper. Majority of the newspaper publishers, the owners, they always say that this is not a great field to make money. There's a lot of satisfaction, but not much money. Is this the same case in your NRI Pulse too, or are you making a lot of money and you're already driving Rolls Royce?
Not yet. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do that through the paper. But we have survived. We've survived close to 12 years now, and I think what's important is that I'm able to get up each morning and do what I love doing, which not everybody is able to do. So I feel fortunate.
Good. Being the first Indian woman journalist / entrepreneur in the US, I think you've been recognized by certain organizations. One of them is Limca Book of Records, which is definitely a great achievement in my opinion. You also have some other records, and you've been featured and you've been recognized. So can you tell me all about that, and then how you felt about this when you really got?
Let's start with the Limca Book of Records. The Limca Book of Records recognized me as the first editor and publisher of a news publication outside India. So that was like a huge morale boost. It validated my efforts at bringing out a quality publication and also raised the profile of NRI Pulse in the market. And it always feels good when you're featured. That's a good ego boost too. But what's important is that the community relies on NRI Pulse as the #1 news source So that's what keeps us going.
If people don't pick up the newspaper, the physical copy, I think it also goes into their inbox. That's a great feature.
Right.
That's
We do
I do
email.
I do get that.
Right.
So are advertisers supporting you? Good? Well?
The advertisers
Do you
support us through print, in the print edition. We've still not found a way to monetize the online edition, but we do a lot of email marketing and print marketing.
But you have a regular clientele, repeat clientele.
Oh yes. We have some of the biggest advertisers who have been with us for years now.
Like Global Mall,
Global Mall,
Malad
Bindi,
Jewelers.
Patel Plaza.
Absolutely.
There are several. Visitors coverage from California.
Absolutely.
So we have some wonderful advertisers who've stuck with us for years.
Coming to the readership, do you have a focused or target audience that you have in your mind, or you just threw it out into the market and then you formed a particular segment of readers? Example, now you know what kind of readers do read and then give you the feedback. So who are these people? Professionals, businessmen, or is it a mixed bag?
Yeah, I think newspapers traditionally are read by the college-educated, well-to-do people, families, which fits our community's profile very well, I think. So I think everybody in the community reads it, and it's a free publication, so why would somebody not pick it up? So everybody reads it. We are trying to get the younger generation, the second generation, also interested, through essay contests and stuff. And I think slowly we'll get there.
It's actually making more and more readers participate in your newspaper is very important, because in the past, years ago, I was a journalist. In the sense, a freelance journalist. I used to write, and I also ran a newspaper called Friend. It's for children, Friend is children's name. So the idea is to engage them into this one, like give contests or puzzles and mazes, ask them to do kind of thing. That's important. Coming to the contributors, you've got a very good number of contributors. I see their names right from the beginning. So one of them is Mrs. Lakshmi Rao Pemaraju. She writes a wonderful cookery column.
Yes.
Then I also see the name of Ravi Ponangi. He's everywhere, right?
Right.
He's everywhere,
Right.
events and temples and the Global Mall, and he is the bureau chief of India Tribune and one of your contributors, right? Great husband and father, right?
Right.
I don't know why we are featuring him here, but anyway. So even Narendra Reddy, Mr. Narendra Reddy, and a lot of people do that. So have you assigned it, or they just send it and then you try to?
Well, we have some assigned columnists, like Lakshmi Rao. She does the cookery column. We have Rani Sharma, who does fashion. We have Dr. Panchajanya Paul, who does the health column. So these are the columnists. But then we also have some team members, like freelancers, like Mahadev Desai ji and Ravi Ponangi, and a few others who contribute, who go around town and gather news and contribute as and when
more of
they
reporting,
wish.
More of reporting kind of thing.
Yes.
These two.
Yes.
Good.
So that's the difference. And also, I wanted to tell you that we also subscribe to agency news.
Right.
So there's a continuous stream of news that we get to choose from. So we are able to update our website several times every day with this news.
So, if you go back to your college days, journalism college days, and today, 2017, I think you went to school somewhere 20 years back, 25 years back, right?
Right.
So coming to this one, the technology has grown very fast and facilitated quicker distribution of the news and everything. So, tell me, how much of this technology do you use to make your newspaper more effective and productive?
Right. So we are at a stage now where a print publication cannot exist only in print.
Right.
We have to have a digital edition, we have to be online, we have to have a social media. I think we've reached a stage where a print publication cannot exist only as a print publication.
Right.
It can be one arm of the publication, but you also have to have a digital presence,
Right.
you have to have a social media presence. I think we're pretty strong there. We have, we update our website several times every day. We have a very strong Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn presence. And this helps a publication get the word out immediately. in real time. Earlier, people had to wait a month to see the news out. Now it's almost instantaneous.
You answered a part of my next question.
Yeah.
My question is like, yes, yours is monthly. It's pretty long duration or periodicity. Even week itself is long. Sometimes even day itself is long in this fast pace world. So how do you cope up with that?
So that's when you visit the website, because a website will have the news before it comes out in print. Often it's also shared on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, so people get to it, get to read it much before it comes out in print.
Okay. So Veena, being a woman entrepreneur, and especially coming from Indian descent, coming from a sort of semi-traditional or traditional family, isn't it difficult for you to really go into the society, community, talk to so many different people? Sometimes you talk to the local people too. So do you find it slightly difficult? You don't have to really give me any examples, or if you're not comfortable with this question, I'm fine. What I'm saying is, I feel it is slightly
difficult.
No?
Yeah. Well, initially maybe, but now people know me and I know them, so
you feel comfortable.
I feel more comfortable. I must add that I'm not an overtly aggressive person, but I don't think you need to be aggressive to have the strength to follow your convictions or to follow your conscience, or to do what's right always, or sometimes even to go where nobody else has gone before.
Absolutely. Coming to the events in Metro Atlanta, the city is growing, it's buzzing with population overall. And when it comes to Indians, like people migrating to Atlanta is enormous, right? I think there's so many events going on and so many requests you get, like every event people just write up something and send it across.
Right.
How do you cope up with these? Like, how do you select this? Like, which one to publish, which one not to publish?
Well, yes, there are over 150 organizations.
More than that, actually.
More than
you can even add one extra zero next to 150, I'm telling you. There's so many organizations.
Yes, yeah. But I think we are duty bound to give them all equal representation. We also get some reports from private parties, private events. We run individuals, and we don't publish those.
Do you have to sit in an office and everybody has to come in and do it, or everybody works from home?
No, people work from home. I work from my place.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty much online, you can say.
Remote, online,
virtual.
You don't need an office actually. For this kind of a thing, come on, you do it from anywhere. From beach also you can do it. Understand that?
Yeah, except that you need to have the discipline to sit and work from wherever. Yeah.
But then this question may slightly offend you, but I still want to ask you. So, it's been 12 years. NRI Pulse, print edition, monthly and online, everything is going well. Are you in your own comfort zone and you do not want to take it to the next level, or you didn't get an opportunity, or you didn't get the right person or time or money or whatever it is? So why not to go to the next level is what I'm saying.
I think we've been growing slowly and steadily. We are reaching more people every month, every week.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about the circulation was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we are growing. The idea was to take it to the national level.
Yeah, exactly. That's the question.
Yeah, that was the idea. But I'm hopeful that it will happen.
Different cities.
Someday. Yeah.
So you mean
it's not easy. It's not easy to Cover has been here for like 25 years.
They're still stuck to only
the southeast. So it's not easy. I mean, I might want to go to California tomorrow, but I won't be able to do a great job if my focus is everywhere, The idea is to do well in the southeast and then take it to other cities. Yes.
Well, great. So that will be all. I think I got a lot of information, and our viewers definitely understand what goes behind the newspaper and how do you source news and your future plans, everything. I think that was wonderful having you in our studio.
Thank you so much.
If you want to say something, if you want to add, fine. And if you want to ask me a question also, I'm ready.
Yes. I'd love to know more about the interview project.
Okay. Interview is featuring people with amazing ideas and good deeds. We have a lot of people. For example, you are doing a great job to the community, leave alone the financial aspect of it. If you take people like, Srinivas Gangasani, Sujata Reddy, a lot of people, we all know them, but we may not know what they went through, what their experience has been, what their knowledge is, why they focus on community service. So people need to know. So they become the role models for future generation. One of my objectives is youth will watch this and they will at least see in this entire interview, there could be one person who would pick journalism as his or her career. Don't you think so? I think 1 million people may watch, or even 1,000 people may watch. One person will pick that. Same thing when I'm interviewing a doctor, oh my God, I should become a cardiologist. Okay. So even if one person is impacted by this, I think my job is done. That's my mission is accomplished. That's one thing. Next one is passion, hobby. I was a journalist, as I told you. By accident, I got into IT and I formed a comfort zone. So I still need to, work on my passion and my, my hobby. So I keep doing something or the other like this.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for making me
Absolutely.
part of this project.
Absolutely. Thank you
an
very
honor.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Veena.